Good morning. Uh, Things are going good. Get to the page here. This morning we're going to be talking about practicing resilience. Resilience is something that I've been talking about for a while, and practicing to practice. In order to be excellent at something, you have to practice. Uh, it's just like any sport or any thing like art or music or whatever. You have to practice in order to be excellent. You know, you can't just be good at something just by not doing anything about it. You know. With resilient, you must practice this too. You know, this includes what you learn when you practice. When you go through something that that is a difficult time, you learn from that time, and that is what you do is you apply the lesson learned from it. It's just like in the military when we went through a field training exercise, we would have an action report, actor action review, and we would write out lessons learned. So, it's like, okay, we set this up this way, so next time, I think if we do this, it'll turn out better. Whether you fail or whether you were a success is what you learn from what you go through. And so practice is a skill that the way you develop the skill is you use it. If you want to practice gratitude, you write down on a piece of paper something you're grateful for every day, and over time you will develop gratitude, by being grateful for it. Resilience is moving through something. Learning how to practice is essential as moving through, because it is the discipline and practice itself that allows to take what you learned and integrate it into your experience again. Hard work is what excellence is wrapped up in. It does not. It doesn't come, as they say, sitting on the sidelines. So you can't sit on the sidelines and expect to be good at something. You have to get involved. Whether it's training for, in the military we trained, and that was the same thing as practicing. Whether it be your MOS, whether cook, mechanic, or whatever, or whether it be your job as a soldier, which is to go out and prepare for war. There are 5 things that go into practicing. Frequency. You have to do it every day. You have to practice every day. You can't just haphazardly do something. You have to do it every day. Whether it's when you get to a point, a muscle memory, it's just like we train in the military, to be ready in combat. It's training to do something that when the shit hits the fan, we know that we can do this, and that's muscle memory. So frequency is important. Intensity. You have to be very intense in your training. You can't just go out there and kind of half-ass do it. You have to be intensity. So when you train for something, you put intensity into it. The more intense you train for something, the more excellent you're going to be, the better off you're going to be from that duration. You know, uh, you have to train long and hard. When we used to be out in the woods and stuff, we'd be out there for 24 or 48 hours because that was what we needed to do in order to prepare ourselves for later on in combat. We didn't have just 2-hour missions. We had 24-hour missions, so we had to prepare. We had to build our stamina. You know, anytime I used to run a lot, I loved to run long distance, and I used to run marathons. And with the marathons, you have to build up your stamina. You have to run long. So I'd run these 22, 23-mile runs by myself. Just out there by myself, just running. You know, and that's where you build up your stamina. That's where you build up your ability to get through tough times. And it was those times, that it was times like those that are just the prime example of duration. Sometimes when you go through things, they're not short-lived events. They are very long. They are very tiring, and they are intense. And so that's where the intensity comes in, duration comes in. Building up the stamina. Recovery. Uh, we go through something. We still have to take care of ourselves. So we practice and we practice hard, but the recovery, the after you're done with it, once you go through something intense and you practice and you go through something, then you need to take the time to let your body recover, let your mind recover. Do things for yourself that are, when you go through a tough time, reward yourself. Go see a movie, go buy a book that you wanted to buy or something. Go do something nice for yourself. Reflection. Reflection is the bridge between what we practice and the actual doing. We can't practice in haphazardly, but we must still be diligent about it every day. Practice and purposeful reflection is something that is interests us for a moment and for an idea that becomes part of our character. So we have to we have to not let that thing just be a moment. We have to keep practicing. We have to keep going at it every day. Football players, they're training up for a season now that they think is going to happen and everything. And even though they don't know for certain that the season is going to take place, they're still training. The colleges are out there, training up, trying to do what they want to do, what they like to do, which is play football. So they're trying to figure out a way, even through the COVID-19, to train up and to be able to practice and stuff. And so even in this COVID-19, we still need to practice our resilience because of the changes in our society. It has caused me to have to rethink some of the things that I do, how I do them, but I still do them. You just have to keep going through it. You can't let the outside forces interfere with your ability to get things done. You have to keep pushing through. So it's that type of thing that you practice and stuff like that. So practice is the key is an essential of moving through. So you have to practice your resilience. So uh, the when you practice something, you learn from it. So you'll say, okay, next time uh, I'll do this instead of this. So if you have a difficult situation and that situation comes around again, you'll learn from your practicing. You'll say, okay, well, I did this last time, so this time I'm going to do this. And so therefore you'll be able to know the difference between the two. So uh, so you need to put it in your memory banks as to what the next time this happens. I journal. Sometimes I'll write things down in my journal as to how I responded to something, and then I'll go back and reference that and say, oh, okay, this is how I responded to that, so this is how I'm going to do this. So then you go forward from there. Next week, we're going to talk about mindfulness and how to use that to grounding techniques. When you're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, grounding techniques that can bring you back from that and bring you back to mindfulness. Mindfulness is being in the moment. So 5 grounding techniques next week to help you when you're going through an anxiety attack or a tough time and you need to kind of snap back to reality. Okay, so y'all take care and thank you for watching.